Hi, welcome. Today I would like to discuss how for an enum in C sharp you can have a description and be able to access the description for the enum. So let's get started. So for example, I have an enum called fruits and I have two fields, apple and orange. And suppose I do want to decorate it with a description. As you can see, I have a description for apple and a description for orange. And you can see you can get this description by using the system.component model. So that should not really be any problem. So now the question comes is, let's say you define a fruit here and you are assigning my fruit to be fruits.orange. And you want to have a method on my fruit or any enum, for example, where you can use it as an extension method. And you call a method called getDescription and it prints a description. So you can see right now it is printing a dummy description because what I've done is I've created a static helper class. This is a static class because we wanted to write an extension method on an enum type. So you can see this is the way to do it. And I'm right now returning a dummy. So what we want to do is fill this up and return the real description. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is to get the public field. And the way to get it is you take the input parameter value and you can get type, and once you have the type you can call a method called get field on it, and get field would essentially be the value you are using here as a string. So this should basically get you the public field that you need, and you can look at the method search of public fields with a specified name. So once you have the field, the second step basically is you want to get that custom attribute that you have on the enum. And the way to do this is basically on a field, you can say get custom attributes and it needs some parameters. So first of the parameter is type of whatever uh, description attribute you are sending here. And the second is whether it inherits or not. Usually I can just use a false here. So you can get the attribute by basically just using this get custom attribute. So the trick now is if some enum doesn't have an attribute, what we want to do is just return the value to the string. So what we can do is just do a quick check for that attribute dot length. And if it is 0, we can return the value to string itself. Otherwise, what we can do is essentially take the first attribute. This is an array. So what you want to do is first array as a description attribute. And you want to just return the description for it. So that should really work. And here you can see that it is now printing the attribute for the orange here. And if I change the orange to say apple, it is going to change and give you the attribute for the description attribute for apple. And so this method, the helper method, basically work with any enum itself as long as you have description attributes. If you don't have a description, it will just print the value. So if you don't have a description, it's just going to print orange or whatever the enum is. And I'm going to add this video to my website under Gaur Associates under C# enum get description. And thank you for watching this short screencast and you have a great day.